Good morning, 9 o'clock. I'm Jeff Flatt. I'm the Vice President of the Board. Would like to call to order the 911 Communications District Board of Directors meeting for July 24th, 2025. Roll call. Go ahead and go around the room here.
Shelley Hennessy.
Brian Tierney.
Michael Peterkin.
Mickey Nichols, CFO.
Mary Jo Beck, Office Support Specialist.
Mark Celine, IT Facilities.
Nathan Hughes, Interim Director.
Mark Pacheco.
Tyler Miller.
Okay, public comment. Do we have any public comment? Anybody online? Seeing none. Nathan, we'll go ahead and go to the appointment. Office.
Yeah, so if I can get everybody but Shelley up here. How you guys want to do it? Where we have enough room?
Yeah, here, we'll stand.
Okay, yeah, we can stand over here or I want to let you guys got a good view? You can come up if you want to look. All right, so you want to raise your right hand and then repeat after me. I state your name,
I, Tyler.
Tierney. Jeff Flatt.
being first duly sworn,
Being first duly sworn.
do depose and say
Do depose and say
that I solemnly swear
that I solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America
that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America
and the Constitution of the State of Oregon
and the Constitution of the State of Oregon
and the laws thereof.
and the laws thereof,
And I will faithfully and honorably
and I will faithfully and honorably
demean myself in the office
demean myself in the office
of Director of Columbia 911 Communications District,
of Director of Columbia 911 Communications District,
to which I have been appointed
to which I have been appointed
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Good job.
Right, any additions to the agenda? Let's see, we'll.
Mr. Platt,
Yes,
I think we should discuss Mr. Campbell and his complaints. And I have a suggestion to the board members and staff.
okay.
I believe you have in your package a letter I wrote to Mr. Campbell.
Yet.
Yes.
I wasn't able to meet with the board members beforehand.
Oh, okay. Well, let me just give you a quick oversight. I know at least several of you have had conversations with Mr. Campbell. I've received so the background is that he has been in a dispute with Columbia County over a easement and a road to a mobile home park. And the dispatchers received a call. And the person seeking emergency help gave the wrong address. And unfortunately, it was Mr. Campbell's address. And when the medics got to Mr. Campbell's address, Mr. Campbell told them that he had not called and he was quite irate. The medics then got the dispatchers to confirm again what the address was, and again, the person gave the wrong address. Well, fortunately, they got to the distressed person and got it done. Well, Mr. Campbell has been on a crusade because of this and believes that the dispatchers handled it wrongly, or he was being harassed or something. And so I wrote a letter to Mr. Campbell after reviewing all of the facts, and Danielle Hooper also reviewed everything. the dispatcher, did everything right. They were given the address, unfortunately, the wrong address. It happens. And so, I contacted, counsel for, Columbia County. They have had an ongoing dispute with Mr. Campbell, to the point where they won't take any, oral communications from him. They will only respond in writing, and they will only review written communication. I would suggest that C911 take on the same policy and have him make written requests, and we'll respond appropriately. I advise the board not to take calls from him further. I don't think they're being productive, and according to the information I've received, he has his own agenda. So that's that issue, but it's been quite trying for staff who've been called and had to deal with it. Shelley got a call yesterday, 2 calls yesterday. And I think that some of the
He's
other,
been contacting me as well. He contacted me at the beginning of July initially, and I did not know who he was initially. Because I haven't, as far as fire service, I haven't dealt with his address. I just knew about it, but I didn't know the name associated.
yeah,
He voiced his concerns to me, told him I'd look into it. Unfortunately, I had personal issues come up. It took me a while to get back to him. I got back to him via text message, told him what, after I did spoke with Danelle, what she had told me, and since then, it's been nonstop phone calls and text messages to the point where he's calling me I'm at work and I, bump it just to silence my phone, and he just calls right back continuously. So I blocked his number. So just because it's interfering with my work.
yeah, I don't know how to, my only suggestion is just, he can send a letter and I'll respond formally. I think that would be appropriate under the circumstances, because the call was simply the distressed person that needed emergency care gave the wrong address. It's just that simple.
He's reached out to me multiple times, and I thought he was gonna be here today to speak at the meeting, and I don't see him here, so.
Well, it's unfortunate that he wasn't, because, yeah, then he could say whatever he wanted to say, but so,
Mr. Chair. So he did contact me as well, and I have experience dealing with Mr. Campbell going back 15 years. And the issue with him is it's always rooted in a property dispute over the trailer park. There's a long-standing dispute between him and the trailer park. And from what I understand from his issues is that it's an easement issue. He's blaming, I think there is some confusion and misunderstanding, but there does seem to be confusion about where the right of way is at, as he calls it. And he's blaming 911, that 911 is the authority over those maps. I don't know how that works, so I don't make a determination either way. But I think if we were able to direct him to the appropriate authority that does control those maps, that might be a resolution, because he wants to get it established that the right of way is not on his property. And I don't know if it's true or not, or accurate rather. But it's to one of the sides of his property. So that's what his issue is that he thinks that emergency services are accessing his property to access other property when the easement is not, or the right of way is not through his property. So if it's the county that controls those maps, then it seems like he needs to go talk to the county.
so the county, yes, you're accurate on the background of the dispute. The county has fully vetted that, and I received a 4-page letter. I sent it on to Nathan. Any of the directors are welcome to get a copy. And the county basically said, no, there is an easement. We've done a full-on investigation. It's a long legal opinion, single space. We just need to stay out of that dispute, in my legal opinion. And the county does deal with addresses and the streets and so on and so forth. And as Danelle said, the information was ground true. The address was given. The dispatcher correctly relayed the address to emergency responders. The district did everything correct. And we are just not, it's not our issue. If he wants to take it up further, go to the county. It's not our issue.
When his message that he left me, because I also was at work and didn't take his call because I didn't have a clue who it was. Had nothing to do with the property stuff. It had to do with our bad dispatchers and them reading their apps or something to that effect, which I
Right.
wasn't even sure exactly what he meant.
Right, yes, he is, when I spoke with him, he's sidelined into that from, this is my initial complaint into, well, it's, it's this, and then into, well, fire department issues, and I'm like, well, you're, and I told him nicely, you're calling me as a director of 911. I can't speak to 911, to fire department issues. I can't speak to anything else. So I told him what I do. And like I said, to the point, he interfered with my work. I had to do something. So I didn't like doing what I did by blocking the number, but I didn't have a choice in the matter.
And just to follow up, Director Miller's point, the easement is known as Homo Way Road. That's the disputed road, but it is a road. It goes to the mobile home park. The county has made its determination that it's an open to the public road. And so I just wanted to bring this up because it's been a,
kind of like you mentioned, it's really not our dispute. It's his dispute with the county, and we get a 911 call, we'll dispatch accordingly, and
Yes.
that's what we do. So yeah, he was pretty difficult to talk to when I conversation with him. So any other comments on that? Are we good? Okay. We'll go into elections, annual board. I'd like to open nominations for president.
I would like to elect Jeff as our next president. Or nominate, I should say.
Do we have a second?
I second that.
Been moved and seconded. Are there any other nominations? It's moved in second. Any discussion? Go ahead and call for the vote. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Nominations for vice president. I'd like to nominate Shelley, vice president.
I second that.
Okay, any other discussion? There's been a move in a second. Any discussion for?
My only question is, do both of you, and especially you, Jeff, as a president, since it leads the meetings, do you have the time? Yeah, nobody asked you if you were, if you had the time and wanted to.
Okay, yeah, right. Should be good. I'm retired. I do volunteer for Columbia River. I don't respond as often as I used to on that, but we should be good. We'll go ahead and call for the vote. If there's any discussion on Shelley for vice chair, and Shelley, you're comfortable, you have time.
I come to most of the meetings, I very seldom miss, so.
Okay, all in favor, say aye. Aye, opposed. Okay, motion carries. We'll do nominations for secretary. Ready for secretary.
I'm available for whatever. So, Whatever works.
Okay. So Tyler's nominating himself. Is there a second for?
I'll second it.
Okay, been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Okay, go ahead and call for the vote. All in favor? Tyler for secretary, aye. Aye, opposed? Motion passes. Nominations for treasurer.
That's why my wife does it.
Well, I would like to nominate Mark.
Okay,
I'll second that.
second for Mark. Okay, moved and second. Any discussion for that? Call for the vote. All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Okay, motion passes. Board standing committees. So we've got awards and recognition, we've got personnel committee, user services committee, and facilities committee. So we'll do awards and recognition committee first. Any nominations for awards and recognition? Currently, we've got myself and Shelley.
Mr. Chair, would you mind, or Nathan, would you mind just explaining just very briefly what each one of these actually does?
I'll lean on Mary Jo for that.
Awards and recognition usually is, that one was more prominent when we used to have a agency kind of wide award recognition. We'd invite the other agencies to come in. And so the discussion would be arranging that. And the thing is, since we started doing that years ago, staff felt they wanted more of a recognition amongst themselves and their peers. So this one really hasn't had a lot of activity, I'm gonna say, for like the last at least 7 to 10 years. Because the staff kind of does their own barbecue and that's what they prefer. So that's really what that one was. The other ones are kind of a little bit more self-explanatory. But if you want, I'm sure there's some information in the policy book that explains it better than I'm trying to right now.
And I could.
Is it your opinion that the personnel parts of the awards committee is not needed then?
I mean,
I don't want to have committees, my opinion is let's not have committees, just have committees if they're not actually useful.
I think that's fair.
for sure. Because we did that last year. We didn't think anything really going on with facilities. We've since had our roof issue. But we can deem it as not needed this fiscal year and just state it as such.
And I suppose we could always revisit that should a need arise.
For sure. And this isn't something that historically in the past that we have made motions for or anything. It's really a volunteer of the board members to participate on these committees. So it's really up to you guys.
We could give employee of the year a week at your cabin.
All expenses paid.
Yeah.
Thank you for that explanation.
Do we want to go ahead and talk about personnel committee, user services committee? Do you want to give a brief rundown on the rest of those, Ray?
Well, I should have printed that paper out. I'm so sorry. Personnel committee, really, I'm sure Shelley can kind of speak to this, having been on it with Henry this last year. If anything arises for staff, any discussions that need to be had or decision needs to be made, even for like our new executive director position. So anything really doing with personnel.
Including personnel issues.
Correct. And user services, I believe that is just our board being present for anything user needs. If staff needs to go to them to kind of give them a heads up of either new equipment, new software, anything going on between the users and us.
I'm sorry, are you done? I don't want to cut you off.
No, you're fine. Go ahead.
So given that I already have a lot of communication with the user agencies, I nominate myself if, I mean, you just stated too that it's not something that you typically do motions for, so I don't.
Correct. Yeah, I mean, it's just however you guys decide amongst yourselves who wants to be a part. And then we usually just have two of you who are the committee. And if one of you is unavailable, there's an alternate.
Thank you. So I would be open to user services. Well, I'm open to whatever is needed, but user services would be it.
But set me straight on this. This isn't something that you can just take on yourself and go do your own thing with.
Oh, no, not at all.
This is only if
You
we're
guys-
asked to get involved.
Right. And the personnel committee would meet with staff, most likely the
Right.
executive director, to discuss any of those issues.
Or any of those.
Right. And then if there is something that needs to come before the board as a whole, that would come to the meeting and then the board makes a decision. A recommendation can be made by the committee, but the board as a whole has to.
But that goes by every one of these committees, the same
is correct.
standards for that. That's.
Yes, those are the guardrails.
Okay, so awards and recognition committee, so it sounds like that one's
Not needed.
not needed. Is everybody comfortable with that?
Yeah, we're fine with that.
Okay. Do we need a motion and vote on that?
No,
We're good with that.
no, as long as there's
Okay, so-
consensus among the board members.
So that's not needed. Personnel committee. Got user services committee and then the facilities committee has already been deemed not needed, so. We'll do nominations for personnel committee.
I can do personnel.
Okay.
Point of order.
Yes.
I just wanted to state that normally, and this, you don't have to do this, but normally, in order to have a, for instance, Shelley would normally be asked to remain on personnel committee because she served it 1 or 2 years. She has the experience. So normally that'd be the case, but maybe Shelley doesn't want to do it. It's completely up to you. I just want to let you know that's kind of how history has been.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm fine on there. And then we also need an alternate then.
Correct.
So we've got Brian and Shelley. Anybody else?
Mark, do you have, would you be an alternate for that one?
Yeah, be an alternate for that.
Okay. Then we'll go with user services committee. Right now, Brian and myself and an alternate is Shelley is on there. Is everybody good with
I
that?
can stay on with user services too.
Okay, Shelley, are you?
I believe Tyler wanted to be on that committee.
Yeah.
Well, you can take me off and put Tyler
Yeah.
on as the alternate.
Okay. So, and I'm good with that one as well. So it'll be Brian, Tyler, and myself on user service committee.
Ryan being the alternate.
What? So
Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct. Yes. Adoption of the 25-26 board meeting schedule.
Do we want to look at the facilities? I mean, we've had a lot of.
Yeah,
facilities
I mean,
issues.
that is something that we do have. Maybe we need to get that back out on the table
Well,
because.
Yeah, so we have two issues, if I could, Mr. President. We need to talk about the roof issue today. That's on the agenda. And then also we have some siding and painting that we're actually looking at right now. In fact, after the meeting, I'm gonna inspect and I'm gonna meet with Merckx and Nathan and talk about that. So I think that maybe the facilities committee should stay constituted.
Yeah, is everybody else? kind of
Yeah, I'm okay with it.
that?
Who is currently on the facilities committee?
Nobody at this time.
I was thinking for context, whoever it was, be good considering the issues, but
We can look back and go and look back real quick. You want to give me a couple minutes?
Yeah, let's do that. And then, while we're waiting on Mary Jo, we can go into this adoption of the 25-26 board meeting schedule. You know, there's a couple dates in there, Thanksgiving and Christmas. I guess we can look at moving those when we get closer to that, but we could adopt it as is and then make changes as needed.
Need a motion for that then?
Yes.
So,
I would think we should go ahead and change those two, because we obviously are not.
Yeah, we don't want to do that on those days.
so I make a motion that we adopt the schedule as is with the tentative changing of dates for Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Okay, and then a second.
second.
Okay, motion in second and discussion, so let's look at our options for. First of all, for that Thanksgiving day, oops, anybody have any preference on that?
So Thanksgiving's what, the 27th?
Want to wait until we know when vacations are?
If you want me to speak.
Yes.
I'm sorry, I don't want to just interrupt, so.
How are you?
Normally in the past, if the board chooses to wait till we get closer to those meeting dates, sometimes it's a little bit easier because we don't know really what our schedules are
Right.
that far into the year. We can do that. Or if you wanted to set those ones for like the third Thursday of the month, it's really your pleasure.
Anybody got any suggestions?
I'm good either way.
Could we just move each back a week?
Yeah, move it up to the third Thursday instead of. So, everybody good with that?
Yeah, I'm good either way.
I can adjust the meeting schedule and push it back out.
Yeah, and then as if we get closer to those meeting dates, we can always adjust as needed if that. Okay, so a motion and a second, and we'll change both, and we'll bump those up 1 week to the third Thursday. And the motion second, call for the vote, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay, motion carries. Approval of the board meeting minutes. I believe that is in the packet here. Do we have a motion to approve? The June 30, 2025 meeting minutes as presented.
Mr. Chair, I move that the board approve as presented.
Okay, is there a second?
Second. Go ahead, Joe.
Yeah, we've got, it's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion on any of that? We'll call for the vote, then all in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, motion passes. Financial reports. Acceptance of the budget variance. Is there a motion to approve the budget variance as presented?
Make a motion, we accept as presented.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion on the budget variance? We call for the vote. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed. Motion passes. Approval of expenditures. Anybody have any questions for Mickey? The expenditures. Seeing none, do we have a motion for approval of the expenditures?
Motion for approval of expenditures.
The second.
Yeah, second.
Okay, moved and seconded. Is there any discussion on expenditures? Okay, we'll call for the vote. All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Operations report, Danelle.
Hello, everyone. Operations report today. We don't have any changes in our staffing numbers. We're still at 2 leads and 10 full-time with 3 of them be trainees and 1 part-time. Our rolling recruitment started on July 1st, and it's getting really positive comments from both the public and the applicants that we've changed it and given it more of a timeline. As of July 23rd, yesterday, we had 18 applicants, which is really good numbers for the amount of time that it's been open. We currently have 6 certified training officers. 3 of our trainees are progressing well and working hard. And we are starting to prepare for our October fall all-staff training. The one that we did in the spring was very successful, and I thought I'd start talking about it now since we have been bringing outside instructors and partnering with our user agencies. Staff achievements, Ashley DeHaven, she just reached her 1-year mark. And if you may remember, she was a lateral with about 10 years experience that had a few years of a break before she came to us at Columbia. She got her basic and then immediately achieved her intermediate. So we're very proud of her and happy to have her. The 2025 County Fair was very successful. We did something different this year where one of our leads, Bree, reached out to the Columbia County Sheriff's Office. Both of them and us were having a little bit of a challenge staffing the booth with our staffing needs for actual operations. So we partnered with the Sheriff's Office and it went really well. It was very engaging with the citizens that stopped by, and I'm thankful to all staff who volunteered. We have committed and are going to participate in the National Night Out on August 5th, as well as the Columbia City Prepare Fair on August 9th. Kirby is continuing to really do well with our social media, public education, and we've added some recruitment ads. And since our rolling recruitment is going to be ongoing, those ads are going to be more frequent. I know that it was talked about earlier in the meeting, the awards. So Mary Jo is right. I do remember that many years ago that staff came together and wanted it to be a little bit more in-house, a little bit more personal and close to home. So we are getting ready to do that on August 16th, and all staff are involved in the planning and participation, and their families come in. It's a very nice time. We are also preparing for the fall APCO NINA. It's the Oregon APCO NINA training conference and annual awards banquet that's going to be at the end of September. We are hoping to have at least 1 from the floor staff and 3 from the admin side be able to go. It was an event that we were not able to attend last year, and it was really felt the loss of the training and the connection and networking with the rest of the state. So I'm really optimistic and excited that we're going to be able to do that again. Any questions for me?
I had a question on that, the 16th, that staff family get together. Do we have a time yet? Do we know?
Well, in the past, we haven't invited the board in recent years. Right now it's around 3 p.m., but I don't know how you guys, Nathan, how you want to approach that.
I think it's more of the staff and their family that comes to these events, and it's more just for them. I think it's a little intimidating when they have all their bosses there watching over
Yeah.
them and hearing the stories.
Yeah.
But if there's any other opinions.
Okay. Good with that.
But it is a deviation from past practice, correct? It
No,
doesn't sound like it.
no, it's been like 8 or 10 years that we've been doing it this way.
Mr. President, I think it's appropriate at this time to have the board recognize Danielle Hooper, the dispatchers and staff. Lately, the amount and the dramatic incidents have been really something. And this organization has really been put to the test here lately. And I know that Danelle's been working incredible hours as well as the rest of the staff. And I think the board should recognize how hard these folks are working. And I mean, I'm taken aback by the incidents here lately and the dramatic nature of those. Brian knows about some of them just here recently. You know, we're talking deaths, and it's just remarkable. So I think we have to recognize operations and staff and dispatchers.
Absolutely. I agree 100%. And as well as just the report you just gave, I think we're definitely headed the right direction here with what I see going on. So definitely appreciate all your efforts and your hard work from you as well as the staff. And, I just can't, until you've been in those shoes in that dispatch room and one of those calls comes through, and I have not. So I'm speculating here a little bit, but yeah, it's not an easy job, and it's definitely not something anyone could do. So.
Well, and I think any of us, I mean, I made the comment yesterday after hearing about a horrific call. My focus went right to dispatch. I was thinking, oh my gosh, they've just been slammed again. And so, I think we do recognize that, and any of us that's worked in the fire ambulance field understand that they're behind the scenes, and without them, it wouldn't happen. So,
Well, and additionally with Danelle, so Nathan's doing an awesome job here. Nathan stepped in and covered, and Danelle has stepped in the past and covered as well. And so that's greatly appreciated as well. So.
Thank you, and I will pass on the board sentiments to staff. They really do appreciate that.
Yes. Right. Moving on, Nathan with the tech report.
Yep, switching hats. So radio sites, we're still gathering quotes to upgrade the security system at our radio sites. We had another walkthrough yesterday. Merck's took them up to some of our radio sites to take a look. Evacuation kits, time permitting. I mean, we've been slammed, but we are still working on getting those put together. Magics, there's been some traction. We're looking to put version 25.5 into our test system to start testing out how it looks on the dispatch side and on the user side. It's going to be a major overhaul of users. And so we're going to have to put together some kind of training, and it's going to be quite the rollout. It's going to be a whole new install, and how you even install it's different than the last version. Facility, we signed a quote with a tree company to come and remove some rotting trees that are near the creek that are starting to lean. Everybody that came out and looked at them said, yeah, you need to get rid of those. Those are getting ready to go. We were working with our neighbors to get another tree that's coming onto our property removed. That's threatening the generator. And then the UPS, we ran into an issue with the UPS. It was throwing a bunch of errors, beeping at dispatch really loud. The voltage coming from PUD was way too high, and our system was starting to get overloaded by the voltage coming into it. And so we worked with, or Merck's worked with PUD, and he got that all sorted out. He's a rock star. And we had MyCom come take a look at our UPS, tell us exactly what they could find. Their suggestion, PUD power in the past has not always been reliable in what they supply to us. So getting something that can handle it a little bit better, which means a larger unit, which means downtime, which it's kind of a snowball effect. So we're really planning this out and working with the operations team to make sure that what we do impacts them minimally, or as minimal as we can. It's still going to be a huge impact. Any questions for me?
Well, keep up the good work. Old business. We still gonna turn that over to Nathan for.
Oh, that's, I'm getting caught up too. Okay, there's been changes to the agenda versus my script, so I'm just making sure I cover everything. So. Radio system, Meisner, I have no updates. I haven't kept too on top of it. I've been just slammed coming into executive director with everything else going on. But I believe it's pretty much up and running. Merck's, I think you have a little bit better idea. You know, anything about Meisner? Anything we should be worried about?
No, so the site is in operation for our radio system. We're continuing to work with the partners out there as far as getting their equipment moved on over.
Perfect. And that would be the Ham Group and I think one of the race groups.
Yeah, Hood to Coast.
As it goes, yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you. Radio upgrade project. I met with Betsy Johnson, a representative with the governor's office, Ron Policoni, Jeremy Hypes, and multiple police and fire chiefs from around the county. We were able to explain to the governor's office the state of the radio system and the issues funding the replacement and repair of outdated components in the system. We will continue to hold meetings with this group to explore possible funding for portions of the radio system. St. Helens Police Chief Matt Smith has been a rock star. He has been blazing through this with his support. He thinks that he can secure some funding from the state for us. And so we're very hopeful, and Betsy Johnson is an all-star. She's very supportive of our situation and trying to help with it. Any questions on that?
That's awesome.
Public education and outreach. We sent out our newsletter last month. We've been getting very positive feedback from the community. Some businesses have offered to have some of our newsletters available to the public, which has been great. Janelle touched on the other half of that, which is social media. Kirby's doing an awesome job. Next, the roof repair and bid, or actually, I'm going to skip that for 1 second. No, I won't. Yes, the roof repair and bid. Got a little out of place on my own list. So I don't know if you want to open that up, Mr. Peterkin.
Thank you. So members of the board, you're faced with a difficult situation. So after the bidding process, we have a walk-in roofing bid. We have two bids, we have a bid that has two parts to it. And this was based on the engineer's recommendation. In rough numbers, the cost to repair the existing roof is $80,427. That assumes no change orders, no issues with the underlayment. And then the cost of replacing the roof is $212,000 and some change. Now, when you try to balance these two, the roofer will not warrant the repairs, and that's welding the seams and trying to fix what's not correct up there. Putting in a new membrane, I mean, once you take that membrane off and you uncover the roof, you don't know what's under it. And we know that there's been some leaks. And so how much of the roof system, the framing, has to be like the roof decking, those sheets have to be removed and replaced. And does it go further? We don't know. Now, the $212,000 doesn't include if the insulation needs to be replaced. And Nathan and I had a discussion about that. We don't think it needs to be replaced in the entire building. There might be a few spots, but that would mean a subcontractor would come in and do the insulation because roofers don't do insulation, okay? So my recommendation doing construction law for many years is that if the board was going to vote to direct us to accept this bid, then I think you have to give some, I think financially, you're going to have to probably assign about $300,000 to a full roof repair just in case. And that's my estimate based on experience doing this. Is it close? I don't know. We know that there's problems with the roof. We've got a bid to do what can be seen. The bid doesn't include what we can't see. Now, the real difference here is that you get a 20-year warranty on a new roof. You get no warranty on the repair. And this bid reflects after the engineer did the plans and specified certain roofing conditions. We had, I think, 3 bids, all about 150,000 to do a roof replacement without the engineer's specification. So that went up. And now we see a 212 based on the engineer's plans and specifications, plus its prevailing wage, plus performance and payment bonds. It all adds up. So that's what you're facing. And there's no good solution, but I also want to have Mickey address the budget and what she's facing and where do you get the money if you're going to say, go fix the roof. And so for the board, it's either a short-term repair, we don't know how long that's going to last, or a full roof replacement, which is a big ticket item. And I have one more. I've talked to Danelle about how this is going to go because of the potential disruption to the essential services here, and that's dispatch. And so if they have to tear the roof off, well, no matter what, but the roof replacement is going to be more intrusive. It's going to have a greater chance of affecting dispatch. And if there is a call, they have to stop, immediately stop, right? So I have to address that with the roofer on how that's going to be compensated, because if we have a full crew and they have to pull off, we're going to have to pay them stand down time.
And additionally, the time frame, and obviously the replacement would take longer than, the repair.
Right.
But then when is the work going to be done and how long and, what's the time frame?
Right. So I talked to the Washington Roofing, the manager, and then his estimate is that because there's 2, I think this was originally 3 buildings, but there's now 2 kind of independent buildings, and they can do one roof, then the other roof, okay, for the 2 buildings. And so they don't need as long of a time without rain. So their plan, and they're busy. I mean, everyone wants a roof. Their plan is to get this done hopefully in October, early November, and they'll look for the weather windows. We wanted it done before October, but man, they just can't fit it in. And because this is a highly specialized roofing project, it's not a normal roofing project, and it's a public entity asking for the work. This is what we have. So it's a tough decision for the board. I'll answer any questions you have.
You got any questions?
I do have a few questions. Thank you. This is probably a question for Merch, I would assume. So as far as what needs to be repaired, for example, when I had my roof replaced, the roof was able to go in and see, the plywood or whatever you call it, that, the roofing materials lay on top of. What about this situation makes it so that they can't see and they can't assess it from this end to determine the extent of the damage?
Hey, jump in, or if you have something.
Yeah, I can answer it or Merck can answer it.
It's just a need to actually be able to see. Accessing from down from the underside is it's occluded. There's a moisture barrier that runs throughout the entirety of the building, both the drop ceiling and insulation. So you would need to lift the membrane to actually get eyes on from the top.
Thank you. And then I'm sure the insurance coverage has been reviewed, and is it just a end of life situation, or is there something that exempting it from?
Yeah, good question. So the insurance paid for all of the damage as a result of the water infiltration due to the negligence of the other contractor. And they also paid, or I think they paid for that fix.
Yeah.
The short-term fix, yes. So we had to have a roofer come in and secure the roof so that the leak would stop. That's the occurrence under insurance law. After the occurrence is resolved, now we just have maintenance. It's not an insurable event, unfortunately. Good question, but insurance isn't going to cover it.
Okay, thank you. And then I heard two numbers from you, and I think I may have misheard. There was an 80K number and there was a 200K number. Was the 80K for like isolated replacements versus the 200 being the complete repair of the entire roof for both A and B buildings?
The 80,427 is a repair for both A and B building. And the problem is that part of the problem is that it's just an old roof. It's leaking in spots, but also along the perimeter, the membrane isn't long enough to seal the water out in a proper way. And so they have to, what they call, weld the membrane to the existing membrane, extend it out, and then they're doing all kinds of terminations and gutters. I mean, it's a big deal to make it watertight. So that's the 80,000. But that doesn't fix the balance of it. There's coping, there's all kinds of other issues. The 212 covers both A and B, but it doesn't cover repairs that have to be made, and it doesn't cover replacement of insurance.
Okay. And then what is the expected, or what is the life expectancy of the roofing materials we think that aren't in need of repairs? Is there any way to know that? And I'm just trying to strike a balance in between.
Right. No, again,
versus.
Right. Another good question. This building is 30 years old. And the life expectancy, the useful life of the existing roof has gone beyond its life.
Okay.
And I'll add in that the full repair comes with a 20-year manufacturer's non-prorated material and labor warranty
Okay.
and a 5-year Washington Roofing Company Worksman's warranty.
Is there any exemptions in their warranty because of the flat roof style? Because I would imagine that a flat roof is going to be more challenging to keep water out of than a slanted roof.
Yeah, normally the way that works is that there has to be a yearly inspection. And I haven't gone through and looked at everything minutely, but normally on a flat roof, to keep the warranty in effect, there has to be an inspection because they want you to maintain it so that their warranty stays in place.
And is it correct that our current facilities reserve fund balance is about 655? Is that,
Currently at the moment,
yeah, what is our current facilities?
so the end of the year, I have 943.
Do we expect any other major facility repairs to come up in the imminent future? Or that would not give us enough time to replenish that reserve fund if we needed to do another major repair? I'm just trying to understand if we do approve a $300,000.
So one thing coming up, well, a couple things on the horizon is once we get the roof done, the gutters done, going and getting the siding of the building patched up, there's a lot of cracks, leaks. I mean, one thing that we found out without gutters, you find every little crack in your ceiling. And then painting the building to really seal everything up and just get us back to where we were 30 years ago. Other projects on the horizon,
Nathan, you got a kind of a ballpark bid about 58,000 on that?
Yeah, so-
Formal, we haven't gone through the formal process yet.
yeah, was that with PWR?
I'd have to verify on that one, but we should.
Yeah, so probably
75,000.
about $75,000 for the siding and the paint. And then just on the horizon, we haven't really made any moves yet since the levy failed. Not the consoles like the radio consoles, but the actual desks that dispatchers are using. They're breaking left and right. I mean, we have cabinets, doors falling off, lift mechanisms breaking. Getting replacement parts has begun to be a real challenge for
The Watson console.
the Watson consoles, yeah.
And that falls under facilities, you think?
I think it could be justified.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions? I had a question for Mickey then going forward. I know Michael touched on that, but as far as paying for this and moving forward, if we so choose to do it, what's the?
So what I'm looking at is what we expensed out last year versus what we expect to expense out this year. And of course, because losing our levy, we had to trim the budget as much as we could. So last year was 5.8, and this year, that's what we had spent. And this year, we're budgeted for 5.1. I am concerned that we are not, because we have no contingency or very little contingency or unappropriated funds at all, as opposed to last year, we had not $1,800,000 and some $1,000 in both of those, 880, I think, something like that. I don't have those funds anymore, so I feel like I'm gonna have to come to the board and ask you guys to take money out of our equipment fund, not our facilities fund. There's not enough money in the facilities fund for me to do anything with. I'm gonna need about possibly $1 million out of our equipment fund to be put back into our ops fund so we can complete this year. That is my concern. I'm not gonna have enough money and stay under budget. So that would be an ask. When it comes to just facilities, like I said, we have 900 and some $1,000 in there, 300,000 on our roof, another 75 for the painting, doing the councils. That's all good. I'd like to not touch any more of that money, so we still have a buffer for other emergencies that are unexpected.
Well, I'm just gonna throw it out there. I think doing a patch, it's a Band-Aid like anything else, and we could fix it, and next year we might have to fix it again because it's not a true fix. So, I mean, none of us want to spend money, but a roof's pretty important for this
Well, and the warranty that comes with the new roof is appealing versus just, you know,
Nothing. Yeah.
we throw money at it, we patch it, and then in a year or two, here we are.
Same discussion.
Mr. President.
Yes.
I'm in agreement too, and the thing for me too is that we're already past our life expectancy on the existing roof, so I think that right there is reason to move forward with the complete replacement.
I'm just gonna touch on something Peter Ken touched on one more time, just as a reminder. We're gonna need a larger contingency with this project because $20,000 spending authority for the executive director isn't gonna be, in my opinion, enough for anything that comes up, because if they find, you know, a lot of rot up there on that decking, we're gonna have some change orders that we need to get signed right away.
Yeah, and the question is, you know, is it 10% over? Is it 15? Is it 20? What
The number you threw out was about 50%.
Well, probably better too much than not enough,
Well,
obviously.
you know, I would rather have the board assign a bigger number and come under the number than come back to the board when we have rain in the next day or two and we've got an open roof, you know, so we're trying to get enough authority. And so once it's opened, we're gonna have pictures and we're gonna get written change orders and we're gonna be tough on change orders. But we have to pay the contractor the reasonable value. And so we just don't know. And so I threw out the 300 just to give the executive director enough financial room to get this done and to protect this facility, because if this roof is exposed on, because our contractor has opened it up and we can't make it, the owner can't make a decision, that won't be insurance coverage. That's on us. So we've got to move quickly on this and we have to have the financial flexibility to do it. I hope that we don't get near the 300. We just don't know what's under there, and we know that there's been leaks, and we know there's some rot in some of the roof sheeting.
But we just need to approve it not to exceed.
Yes.
Correct. Okay.
Okay,
And you're recommending that be 300 because the quote is 212?
Yes.
Okay.
so I will motion.
Mr. President, I make a motion that the board approve not to exceed 300,000 for the complete roof replacement of both buildings.
Have a second.
Second.
Moved in second. Any further discussion? We've already kind of discussed these things. Anybody got anything? Everybody good? Okay, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Mr. President, we'll need additional authority to authorize the executive director to sign the Washington roofing contract, and I will draft it. We're not accepting their proposal. We're on the bid terms, we're including all the bid terms, so we'll take care of it. Okay.
I'll make the motion for that authority.
Yeah, we have a second on that. Okay, moved in second. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Okay, and then back to Nathan. The bottom here, was there anything else this equipment reserve? Did we discuss all that already? Or we?
I can touch on it for a second. We have approximately $4.7 million in our reserve account. With Jeremy starting in August, we plan to discuss more about what we'd like to do with that money at the next meeting.
Right. That brings us to executive session.
Oh, Mary Jo,
Yes.
Sorry, I just wanted to get back to you about the facilities committee.
Yes.
prior to it being deemed unnecessary last year, Rob, yourself and Shelley were on that.
Okay.
So if you wanted to go back to that before we use,
Yeah, and I think in light of the roof and everything that's going on, that would be good, so. I'm good. Shelley, are you
Okay.
good? And then we need someone to replace Rob, so,
I'm happy to serve as an alternate.
okay, very good. So, executive
Point of order, Mr. President, you should make a motion to appoint,
motion, okay,
What?
right, motion to.
not for it was just for the facilities committee. It's just voluntary for the
haven't done-
board to be a part of the facilities committee.
Yeah, okay. Okay. Executive session.
I don't know if we need one. The security incident, Nathan, you can address what we thought was a security incident on the gate situation. And then we're in the process of updating the district facility security operating procedures, and so it's not ready for the board yet.
Agenda items for the next meeting, August 28th.
Do we want to talk about the security incident?
Yes, let's go ahead. Yeah.
Yes.
Sorry.
So prior to the last board meeting, we had a gentleman and a female come up to our gate and start taking pictures through our fence. There was some issues noticed. I'm trying to choose my words carefully because I can't say a whole lot in public. There were some issues with what we found about the vehicle. And we had the police to investigate. We realized that it most likely was a contractor who came after hours and did not notify us. They eventually did show up, and we, because of their conduct, did not do business with them.
Yeah.
Any questions?
Oh. Okay, agenda items for the August 28th, 2025. Okay, any other business? Good. Member comments?
I'd just like to welcome everybody that is new on the board and look forward to working with all of you. Again, just thanking the 911 employees for all that you guys do. It's noticed, the community talks about it. There's a lot of people that support you guys along with the agencies that we work with. And so
We appreciate
you.
it.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, I'll echo Shelley on that. Welcome everybody that's new and again, thank you to dispatch for everything. We know you guys get busy, especially multiple calls back to back, and it's appreciated. Believe me, from the user side, it's definitely appreciated everything you guys do. You're efficient and timely and everything runs smooth for us. Also, thank you.
Anything?
Just a couple of things. I noticed that the advisory committee meeting for later this month has been canceled. I think we're required by statute to have those quarterly, at least 4, if I remember correctly. Are we
We're
rescheduling
rescheduling, yeah.
that so that we make sure we meet the minimum? Okay,
Yeah, so we moved to the next board meeting, the appointment of the advisory committee, so then we could have some input on that. And that way it'd be right after.
Okay, thank you. And then the 25-26 budget was approved, correct?
We'll look over to Mickey, yes. Very
Okay,
good.
it's still showing as proposed on the website, just FYI.
I think when you go to propose it and then it says adopted, we just have to
Okay.
change the title.
Yeah, just a minor thing. Thank you.
Okay. Mark?
Just looking forward to, getting involved and helping out. My experience with the county has really shown me what great work happens here with the dispatchers and all the people that run the operation. So I'm excited to be a part of that.
Good to have you, so. And then, yeah, I'd just like to welcome both Mark and Tyler. I'd like to shout out, you know, Nathan talked about several rock stars and Nathan is a rock star in my opinion as well, so stepping in and keeping things moving and doing a great job. Danelle, can't say enough about, you know, the job she's currently doing and done in the past. All of the staff, I can go around the room, Mary Jo, whatever you need, you get over, she gets it done. Merck's, great thoughts, you know. Great things about Merck's, Mickey, you know, all around the room, so. And those dispatchers in there are definitely the rock star as well. So. I'm looking forward to getting Jeremy on board and moving forward with this thing, so thank you. Do you have any other comments? I think we're good, then we'll go ahead and adjourn the meeting.
Find my hammer? Yeah.